Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So within today's video, we are going to be talking about the renewals that has been going on in Barcelona, then talk about the right back position. This is going to be a very heavy loaded type of video because we're going to be talking about like 4 to 5 different players. So with the renewals, we will be discussing the situation of Dembele, Marcos Alonso, Sergio Busquets, and Sergi Roberto. So if you guys are new here, welcome to the channel. I'm happy that you guys are here. We do talk about everything regarding FC Barcelona. So if you guys are watching me for the first time, please like this video to support this YouTube channel. If you also do want to subscribe so you guys can know exactly when I do upload, and especially during match reviews when a game is over for FC Barcelona, I always do post those match reviews, which is something that I believe many people do like to see on YouTube and especially through this channel. So again, thank you guys so much for joining in. And so let's start this video and let's talk about Dembele, because it says here, according to Sport, Dembele wants to renew at Barcelona and stay here for many more years. So I think that we got him. Like, I'm being serious. Like, this is huge news for Xavi and Barcelona. We have a Dembele that is happy. We have somebody that is motivated, right? This is a player for the future. I do think that Dembele will be a player that will stay here until at the very least 28 to 30 years old. Like, I honestly do believe that. And it's crazy to like even say this, because if we were to go back 1 year ago today, Dembele at one point looked like a transfer that was a complete failure, right? We used 148 million euros, 160 million euros to bring this player in, only for him to like not do anything in his first 3 to 4 years. But that does not seem like it's the picture no more. It seems like Dembele will stay here for longer than expected and be a fundamental player for Xavi's FC Barcelona. I do believe that if he continues to prosper in this way and progress in this way, he can be one of the best players in the world, not even one of the best players in his position. Now again, it's very unfortunate that we had to waste 4 years of his career thanks to ex-president Bartomeu, but now that Xavi and Joan Laporta and Mateo Lemon are here, Dembele is in good hands, and you can just see that he wants to make it up for not doing anything in the first 3 to 4 years, and he knows that he has a point to prove. Xavi has also said during the pre-match press conference between Barcelona and Girona, Xavi was saying, yes, we do constantly work on Dembele, so he never does get injured. So there is unity, there is backing. There is no way this agent is going to be saying, no, I don't want Dembele to continue. I want to move this player to Manchester United or Manchester City or Arsenal or Juventus because they have more money. I just don't see this agent doing that, because he will look pathetic. Like, how are you going to try and stop this momentum that Dembele is bringing to this Barcelona club? So the renewal is going to be easy, and they're going to be complying with whatever Barcelona can afford. They're going to give him X wage or Y wage, whatever it's going to be, and Dembele and the agent are going to be accepting. Now, assuming that Dembele does renew for like, let's say 4 to 5 years, right? So let's just assume 4 to 5 years. I hope that we can add more quality around him within these next 3 to 4 years, and especially within these next 2 years, because obviously the better the quality, the better he is going to be performing. Like, for example, this is my fantasy signing. I hope that Barcelona is in a position next summer of 2024, or maybe even the summer of 2025, where they can bring in Kylian Mbappe, who is one of the teammates of Dembele in France. They are great friends and they love to play with each other. So can you imagine Barcelona bringing in Kylian Mbappe so he can play on the left side, and then having Dembele on the right side, and then having our all-star forward, whoever that may be in the future, in about 2 years? So there is so much to look forward to when it comes to Barcelona, and especially with Dembele. Now let's talk about Marcos Alonso, because we do have official and breaking news. Barcelona has renewed Marcos Alonso's contract for 1 year plus a 1 optional year, meaning that he could take it all the way into the summer of 2024 if everything goes well with him sportingly. Now, there is an overreaction when it comes to Marcos Alonso, because many are not really liking this, and I think that this is an okay renewal. And the reason why I'm saying that is because Marcos Alonso is a 4th option center back, or like a 3rd option left back. Like, really think about that, which is the reason why I'm not too heated about what Barcelona is doing with Alonso and his future. Like, think about it. When was the last time we saw Marcos Alonso in the starting 11, or like really play on the pitch for a span of 45 minutes? It's been a very long time. Xavi is clearly focusing on a trio which does include Christensen, Araujo, and Koundé. And then at the same time, he also does want to develop Eric Garcia. So looking at his level and what Marcos Alonso could do in that defensive line, like for example, distributing those crosses into the box and winning almost like 99% of the aerial duels that he does encounter, he is a great 4th to 5th option. Like, I don't understand why many are saying Marcos Alonso should not be renewing, he should be leaving this club. It just doesn't make no sense. Like, why think in that way? And I said this before, like, if Xavi said, I want to renew Marcos Alonso because I think that he should be a starter for FC Barcelona, then we have a different conversation. Then I'll tell you, what is Xavi thinking? What is Joan Laporta thinking? What is Mateo Lemon thinking? Like, why do they want Marcos Alonso as a starter, or maybe even a 2nd option for FC Barcelona? He's not the player to bring you the best result possible. But it's not the case within this case of Marcos Alonso and Barcelona. He is simply just the 4th option, and he's doing very well for what he does in his position. Now let's move on towards Sergio Busquets and Sergi Sergi Roberto. And it says here, according to Fernando Polo, the first contacts have now been made over the renewals of Busquets and Sergi Roberto. Barcelona wanted to know whether they like to stay or leave. Xavi wants both to stay, but so far only Sergi Roberto has expressed his clear desire to extend his contract. Sergio Busquets is the only player that has not said anything, as he's first analyzing the situation of the team and his own before making a final decision on his future. Initially, he decided to leave, but he's been rethinking things after having a chat with Xavi Hernandez. And then he continues to say, Xavi wants Sergio Roberto to renew because the player is familiar with the style of play, the tactical aspects that Xavi wants, and is a versatile player. He considers Sergio Roberto to be a wild card, though not as a starter. So let's assess this thing right now. Let's talk about Sergio Busquets first. I would not be surprised to hear that Sergio Busquets ends up renewing with Barcelona. Why? That is because Busquets wants to make a decision based off whatever Barcelona do need at that moment in the summer. Because if Busquets sees that Barcelona do not have a clear replacement, they don't have like another player to join Frankie de Jong in that double pivot position, Sergio Busquets is going to be renewing. Like, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm sorry that Busquets has to be renewing, but what this is showing us is that Busquets really cares about his club. Why will Busquets say, I don't care what Barcelona's going through, they can't find a replacement, it's not my problem, I'm leaving FC Barcelona? Why would Busquets do that? Busquets simply wants to be here for his club. And to be very honest, looking at what Xavi Hernandez has been doing with Sergio Busquets and seeing how he is getting the best from this player, like his best version, like go look at what Busquets did against Real Sociedad about 2 or 3 days ago. Like, why would you want to take that away from Barcelona? Like let's make this player continue. It's okay. This whole thing about like his age, right, and how he's too old to be playing for this club, it's a myth. Like, at the end of the day, if you're performing and you're bringing out good performances, if you're being very reliant on the ball, if you're keeping up with the speed of what Barcelona is doing, why not continue with a player like Sergio Busquets? Like, I understand that one of the reasons on why the fan base is not really okay with Busquets staying is because they think that he is just too slow. I don't think Busquets is slow. If anything, he is one of the fastest reacting players. One of the reasons why Busquets sometimes makes that slow pass, or sometimes he rethinks a pass once or twice, is because the players, his teammates, are not positioned correctly. And Busquets is like, okay, oh, I see you're not ready, but I was about to pass. And then it kind of like messes up with your mind. And then you're like, okay, what do I do next? And then out of nowhere, one of the players take away the ball from Sergio Busquets. So if anything, it's the players surrounding Sergio Busquets. This is the reason why Xavi Hernandez did say about a year ago that Busquets is a monster when he is in a very compact team, a very compact system, which is what Barcelona has always been about. We are a team that likes to be compact. When we have the ball, we want to be together. That is where Sergio Busquets does thrive in. So ideally, coming from the sports management of Barcelona, they probably want to keep Sergio Busquets for maybe 1 more year and then also bring in an extra central defensive midfielder so they can be properly equipped. For me, in my opinion, I've always said that yes, we're probably going to have to make and spend some money on like different positions, but if we're going to make a big investment this summer, I want that big investment to be on a central defensive midfielder because we need that. And if we continue with Busquets, we can combine that extra central defensive midfielder with Busquets and they can learn from each other through that last season of Busquets. And I hope and I pray that it's either Enzo Fernandez or Zubimendi. And then as for Sergio Roberto, it's like the same thing of Marcos Alonso. He's simply going to be here because of depth. And if he's only going to be here because of depth, I would give it a green light. Like, just really think about it. Xavi wants Koundé as the right back this season, and he's probably going to continue to do that for the next 4 to 5 years. And Xavi Hernandez also wants to bring in a brand new right back, like what we have been talking about, and we will be discussing even more later down this video. Sergio Roberto simply a third option. If you're going to tell me that Sergio Roberto at his level is a third option or maybe even a fourth option, and he knows how to play the style of Barcelona, he knows the tactical aspect of what Xavi does demand, if he is truly a versatile player, and at the same time, again, going back to what he is, a third option, why not keep this player? And plus, financially, he's super cheap. Like, we're paying this player like if he was a Barcelona B player. There's no reason to hate on Sergio Roberto renewing with this club. And so now let's transition towards the right back position situation. And just to give you guys some context, because I understand that a lot of people don't really follow Barcelona religiously, like what most of us do on this YouTube channel. So I want to provide context on what Barcelona is doing and assessing when it does come to the right back position, because I know that for us, it's probably going to be very repetitive, but I want everybody to know, right? For the general fan. So basically, Koundé is the definitive right back under Xavi Hernandez. Sometimes Alejandro Balde goes in that position when Koundé is not there, or like, let's say, for example, Araujo is injured and Koundé has to go into the center back position. We put Balde as the backup in the right back position. But right now, we do not have a true definitive right back, like a full-time right back. And to be very honest, I like the idea of continuing to play Koundé as a right back, because if we bring in a brand new right back, let's just say, for example, right, just for an example, I'm not telling you that this is going to be happening. Let's just say we bring in Trent. Most likely, we're going to be having Trent, Koundé, Araujo, and then Balde on the left back position. And we're not going to be seeing Christensen as much as we used to. And I like this trio that is being built. I don't want Christensen to be out. I don't want Koundé to be out. I don't want Araujo to be out. And I'm also afraid that if we bring in a brand new right back, we drop our our defensive performance, because these three players, like I've said, Koundé, Christensen, and Araujo, they are defensively rock solid. There's like, they can defend for their lives if they could. Like, I always feel super confident when those three players are in that defensive line. And to like change something that is not broken and you bring in a right back that does not defend as much as if like you were to put Koundé in the right back position, like let's say for example Trent or Cancelo or Alphonso Davies, it doesn't give me the same security, if you guys understand what I'm saying. Like, yes, Trent, Cancelo, Davies, and all these other fullbacks, they do some defending, but it is not as secure like if you were to have Koundé in there with Araujo on the right flank. So I hope that we do not drop our defensive performance once we do bring in that brand new right back. Now, when it comes to Bellerin, who has been completely ignored through the season, it says here according to Javi Miguel that Bellerin's continuity next season is practically ruled out as of today. He's not in Xavi's plan. So who is Barcelona going to be looking for if they want a full-time definitive right back? Javi Miguel has also stated that Foyth and Pavard are two players the club continues to follow. Another player that is very close on Barcelona's radar is Arnau Martínez, a player that we will be seeing in a couple of hours against Girona, because he does represent Girona at the moment, who used to be a Barcelona player. And it says here according to Sport, Barcelona is closely monitoring Arnau Martínez among options as possible right back signings next season. He's affordable for the club, plus Xavi rates him highly. In addition, Martínez has already said publicly he would not mind a return back to FC Barcelona. Xavi, in the pre-match press conference, did also state that he loves Arnau Martínez. He also said that he's a very good fullback, great technique, strong, and a lot of personality. Then he said he's a very interesting player. I do agree. So most likely Barcelona is going to be going for Arnau Martínez. I know that players like Pavard and Foyth and maybe someone like Cancelo, who can play on both like fullback positions, they're more interesting and they're more like a finished product compared to Arnau Martínez. But I think that because Arnau Martínez is the cheapest option, because he has been at Barcelona before during his youth years, because he understands the system, Barcelona will go for Arnau Martínez. We will see that. We will see that piece of news, I guarantee you. And that is the best option for me, because like I've said, going back to what I said in the beginning of this video, if Barcelona are going to be making a very big investment this summer, that big investment has to go on either a central defensive midfielder or a center back. Yes, Arnau Martínez is a risk, but Xavi Hernandez and many of us do have faith that Arnau Martínez can be someone special. So that is going to be wrapping up today's Barcelona daily news. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are new here, welcome to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next one.